Good morning, campers. This is Crusader Rabbit, KBNY 5962, starting our broadcasting day. And today, for your viewer enjoyment, we're going to bring you the most precious camera that I have in my camera collection. And it is this Argus camera. I'm not really sure of the model of the camera itself. You can see it has like this really nice leather case that it's in. Nice Argus. The leather itself of the case seems pretty nice. The strap seems to have dried out and unfortunately has broken. And this is what's remaining of the strap. You can see how this is almost falling off right here. As we open up the release from the case is here on the bottom of the case, as that screws into the camera tripod socket. And this, oh, look at the really nice plushy blue velvet interior of the camera case. And the camera case itself kind of smells like shoes. Anyway, that's the camera case, and now for the camera. As we had indicated, the camera is an Argus, and it's got I believe this is kind of like a filter holder. It doesn't have a filter in it right now. I believe that you can kind of like take this apart and then place the filter in there, and then reattach this. And I think it says something like filter system 5 or something like that, made in USA, Series 5 adapter. I don't know if you can read that. It's kind of hard for me to read it. Anyway, it says Argus Anastigmat, and you have to take the lens and expand it out. Kind of locks into place. And you just turn it again, and then you can push it back in. There's like a little retainers, I don't know if you can see them here. There's like a little tab, and then like a retainers, and it just locks into place. And it's got your basic. This is your shutter release right here, and this is your exposure counter, your film winder, and then here's your film rewinder knob. This is the tripod mount, and that's what the socket there, the little screw on the case. That's what that's screwed into. And here on on the front of the camera, the business end, we have the lens, and it says it's a 50mm coated f4.6 lens, made in the USA. And you can see 4.5, I'm sorry. You can see it goes from a 4.5 here down to f16. So f16 to f4.5. I think if I hold it, if I set the shutter to like a T, and if I hold the shutter open and then move this, I think you can probably see the aperture open and close on the camera, hopefully. 4.5 wide open, f16 closed all the way down, and so we, and there you can see the T working. You know, click it, hold it open, keep it down, and then let it up, and it opens back up. And I believe this is the like a remote plunger that you can put in there if you don't want to use the shutter release. And let's listen to the settings here. We have this is a little on the stiff side. We have 1/150th of a second. Be quiet here so you can hear it click. And we have 1/100th of a second. And we have 1/50th of a second. Definitely to the ear that's slower. And we have 1/25th of a second. And up here at the top we have the viewfinder, and of course this is where you would look through it on the back. And at the very top we have kind of a hopefully this is in focus. There's kind of like a little light meter scale here. And what you were supposed to do, my dad said this didn't really work anymore. I guess it just wasn't clear enough, perhaps. But there's like these different little windows here. And what are there? There's let me take a look here. See if I can tell looking through here. There's oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess there's like 6 little windows here, right? And each little window kind of corresponds to one of these settings here. So you would take and look through the windows to see where you can actually see the image. So this would be your viewfinder for composing. These would be your viewfinder for exposure setting. So you would take and you would slide the tab to the window that you can actually see, and then you would read, depending on what your depending on what you wanted to have your aperture setting for, you would read your corresponding shutter speed over here. So if I was on this window, I could do like f4.5 at 100, or I could do f 6.3 at, or f4.5 at 150th of a second,
or f6.3 at 100th of a second, or f9 at 50th of a second. F16 would be at 1/5 of a second. I didn't realize that it had a 1/5 of a second. Yeah, I thought it only went down to like a 25th, but it says it has like a 5, 2, and a 1. I'm not really quite sure
how to be able to access those. Anyway,
I'm not really quite sure how to pronounce the model. Anastigmat, Anastigmat,
Argus Anastigmat. And this would be a camera. This would be the camera in my camera collection that I never saw. This would just be, I guess you could, without the filter, maybe you could use that as like a light hood, kind of. And then of course, to go ahead and put the camera away, you would go ahead and unlock the camera and then retract it and then put it back in, and then it'll fit in the case. So there you have it, my most precious camera in my camera collection, the Argus Anastigmat. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. This is Crusader Rabbit KBNY 5962 ending our broadcasting day. Good night, campers.